I've been in the retail side of production agriculture for 9 years. Grew up on a family farm, eastern edge of the Sandhills in Nebraska. Row crop corn, soybeans, alfalfa production. And then I got into the custom application business, did some spraying myself, and then worked right into retail sales. And I currently manage a retail fertilizer facility in Pleasanton, Nebraska, where we work with a lot of different customers, custom applying, supplying fertilizers and chemicals to them, and work involved with a lot of different crop consultants as well, a wide variety of crops, alfalfa, milo, corn, soybeans, and wheat. I've been involved with using AVAIL for 3 years here on corn and soybeans for the most part. We're currently impregnating dry fertilizer 1152O with AVAIL. We've seen phenomenal results out here in both the customer who has a good management fertility program. We're definitely seeing a yield boost paying for the product. Some of our sideline effects of this, we're getting a healthier plant, more vigorous plant, helps us with canopy and standability, which has been a huge issue in this area in the last couple years. We're also using AVAIL SD, or the liquid formulation of AVAIL, on our side dress phosphorus as well as our pre-plant starters. We can see benefits out there in the field, just plant vigor, growth, and in the end we do come down to a yield response. It does put more money in our customers' pockets. Typically we're applying around between 100 and 150 pounds of 1152O per acre. Now we're applying AVAIL to that. We've seen yield responses from 5 to 15 bushel to the acre. The higher yield responses have been on low fertility ground where we definitely did need the phosphorus boost out there. High pH soils, ground that hasn't been managed real well in the past. However, our best farmers, our best production practices, we are also seeing a yield response, typically more in the 3 to 5 bushel range, but we've definitely been impressed with the responses we're getting from AVAIL phosphorus enhancers. So 3 years ago we started with some strip trials, field trials out there. We do a lot of VRT application in this area, so we had the chance to apply the AVAIL on certain parts of the field. A lot of yield monitors in use here, as well as weigh wagons on test plots and things. Got documented results supporting AVAIL, and similar to what specialty fertilizer products promotes it as, and our customers believe in it, and we are bringing a good product to the customer. We've used NutriSphere-N in both the urea formulation as well as the liquid formulation. We're typically using NutriSphere-N on urea on fall applied nitrogen ahead of winter wheat. We're also using the liquid formulation on a lot of our sandier soils without the ability to retain the nitrogen. We're trying to eliminate the nitrogen loss in our fields. We've also been using NutriSphere-N in situations where the farmer used to side dress or chemigate the nitrogen on, and because of the acres my customers are trying to get over, the NutriSphere-N has allowed us to put their nitrogen on either more of it up front or all of it up front, and them not have to worry about the specific management practices and the time involved in applying nitrogen later on in the season. We've also experienced 2 years finally of heavy rains in this area and abundant moisture, so the nitrogen loss factor has come into play on even our heavier soils. We've been very impressed with NutriSphere-N's ability to hold nitrogen in place and still be available to the plant. I'm currently working with growers who are pushing for high-end, top-end yields on wheat, 100 to 120 bushel yield results on irrigated wheat in west central Nebraska. NutriSphere-N has allowed us to put a good charge of nitrogen out there in the fall, in that 100 to 150 pounds of N fall applied. These customers will typically come back in the spring and top dress some nitrogen through chemigation, through irrigation systems. But with the changes in the variability in our winters in Nebraska, it is a big concern of ours to put out that much nitrogen just ahead of winter. NutriSphere-N has allowed us to rest a little comfortabler, and also we've seen results from putting NutriSphere-N on this nitrogen we're applying to winter wheat. Operations are continuing to grow, and the producer is under more and more pressure to apply nitrogen, split apply or timely application of nitrogen out there. By using NutriSphere-N, we're able to put a little bit more on at a time and a little bit less management required. It's been a huge benefit to some of these large growers to have confidence that their fertilizer will be there when the crop needs it.